Dust it just settles like nothing's here in quiet circles, running from the fear. When can I breathe again to fill the space in between? When can I breathe again to fill this hollow soul in me? My shallow lungs are empty. I'm gonna fill them until they burst. As long as you're with me, I'm breathing in even though it hurts. My shallow lungs are empty. I'm gonna fill them until they burst. As long as you're with me, I'm breathing in even though it hurts.
Goodness gracious. Sorry if that was really loud. But what is up, everybody? Oh my goodness. I am streaming? What? But yo, Galeem, how are you? It's good to see you. Man, you're quick. You were quick with the yo, what's up, man? But yeah, I hope you're doing well, dude. It has been some time. I've been keeping myself busy. So unfortunately, not too much streaming. But if you don't know, well, first off, for those that might be tuning into this later down the road, whether it be through Twitch or YouTube, hope you guys are having a great time. This is, yeah, like I said, yeah. If you guys are watching this down the road or you're new to this is theeOPSON. Pretty much I give you my perspective on just kind of like whatever, really. And today will be the Snyder cut of Justice League. Oh dang. And yes, if for those that have been tuning in, you already know that I have been waiting. Oh my god, I just kind of got memorized for a second. Look at this. Oh no, wait, no, go back 10 seconds. It's bad. Oops. But yeah, I've been waiting for this movie for quite some time. Yes, this movie is Zack Snyder's like true like artistic view and how he truly wanted, I guess, how he wanted Justice League. I haven't heard too much of production after this initial, you know, man, how long has it really been? I feel like at least trying to get this movie released out to the public, it has probably been like, what, 2 years? Like, since that movie dropped and everyone was like, no, we don't like the Joss Whedon version. He, like, changed it up too much, blah, 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 and stuff like that. So, honestly, it's great to see, you know, from, like, an artistic point of view, like, it's great to see someone's, like, full vision kind of be untainted, I guess, unchanged up, due to, like, you know, executives and, you know, at least Joss Whedon kind of wanting to take a different direction and how he wanted to portray it. And yes, I did watch it today. It did drop out for all those that got HBO Max. Yeah, HBO Max. Let's go. Disney what? Not fine. I need to get myself an account. I need to still watch WandaVision. But yo, let's get back to Justice League. Like I said, I've been waiting for this movie for quite some time. And to be honest, it was really good. It actually was pretty good. Out of the entire, like, Snyder movies, I'd probably say this was the best one. But there are, you know, technicalities to it. It definitely is, you know, like I said, I don't know too much of production, especially post-production, because I've heard, you know, they actually had to, or they did some reshoots, or they did some more shooting of the movie, and it, you know, included like Jared Leto's Joker, and I don't know what was truly new. I guess I want to say like the very last portion of it was probably all new footage. That's what my belief is. I don't think anything within that movie was like it. Like, yeah, I'll probably get into it later. But before I go on, you know, if you're watching this on YouTube and Twitch, if you like what you liking, hit that like, subscribe, you know, follow. It would be totally appreciated. But of course, spoilers. It did drop today. I did hear, actually, funny, that what, at least for HBO Max, kind of like a funny like goof or a glitch. That I'm honestly, this person, even though it was a goof glitch to us, like common people, for like that, you know, for like working job wise, oh, that guy's fired. But people actually got to see like an hour of Justice League through watching Tom and Jerry. Like, if you were to like wanted to watch Tom and Jerry, it would actually give you Justice League. For some reason, it would play that movie. So some people got to see it, but not the entire movie. They only got to see an hour. But like I said, spoilers going on further. But kind of going back, I do say this is probably his best movie out of the entire like Zack Snyder DC movie verse. But like I said, with technicalities that it did come off of what Joss Whedon's Justice League did, because granted that even though Joss Whedon changed up the movie, he still kept in a lot of things that Zack had. And you know, you can kind of like, if you want to do the entire refresher of watching those movies, you can, but it's not too necessary. Like, if you watched it once, you kind of like remember the big scenes and you kind of remember like what happens. And so yeah, you know, Zack was able to, you know, be able to, like I said, not able, you know, it had, you know, or like I said, or going back on why it was like a really good movie, he had, you know, he had time to see what kind of like did well with like Josh's like Justice League. I mean, I think a lot of people did kind of dislike, of course, like the initial dropping of Justice League because of a lot of like Joss Whedon's like stuff. But I mean, you know, there's some things that you could probably say about Zack's stuff too. But I think kind of more people kind of knew what was like Joss Whedon's like edits. But nevertheless, movie was really good. If it was 4 hours though, so I don't know if that's gonna be like a thing for like movies now, where, you know, like I remember when Lord of the Rings came out and they're like, oh my god, 3 hours, 4 hours, what? Yeah, it was 4 hours. I think it was actually 4 hours and like 20 minutes or something like that. This movie literally felt like nothing was edited out to me. Like, if you were to buy like the DVD or whatever, like, is the technology of today. I don't know if DVDs exist. But this, like, it gave you everything. Like, it left nothing out, in my opinion. But with that being said, yes, he was able to give you everything. So that's probably why I would say this is like his best movie, because things were fleshed out. There wasn't too many scenes. I mean, yes, there were a couple scenes where it's just like artistically it looks appealing, but it's like, dude, this didn't need to be, you know, this one scene alone didn't need to be added, and it didn't need to like stretch out for like 3-4 minutes. Like, there's just those scenes. I mean, it's nice, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, given like what like the circumstances, this movie was like really good. But it is 4 hours. So, like, if you bombed in 4 hours, I don't like, or you can't tell a story in 4 hours, I don't know. Because, you know, at least for me, I do like episodic series, like TV shows, I guess, more, because they can't flesh things out. So, you know, if you can do that in a movie in 4 hours, then, you know, that's good. That's good, because that's, you know, 4 episodes of like a series or something. Or like, yo, what's up, Rinsler? How's it going? Need to watch it. Don't have HBO though. Oh man, dude, I can get you on my account, dude, if you want to like check it out real quick. But yo, thank you so much for the cheer, dude. Yo, 4,000, goodness. That's much appreciated. And yo, how are you, Rinsler? It has been a minute. I know I haven't streamed for some time, but still, even like before then, like it's been some time. So how are you, dude? I hope everything's good with you. Hope your 2021 is going great so far. That would be godlike. And yeah, man, gotta make sure I'm number one. I feel it. I've been living busy. Good. That's good, dude. Yeah, hopefully everything's been like, you know, yeah, like I said, good on your end. For, you know, everyone's being productive You know what I'm saying? Yeah, and everyone's staying safe. You know what I'm saying? Coronavirus is out there. But, let's get back to this movie. Because, I'm a DC fan. And yeah, can't talk. I had big expectations for this, like, movie. Because, a lot of this, like, culture is a lot of, like, a lot of people like to argue, and people can't just, like, love two things. You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh yeah, that's why DC sucks. You should never do anything DC. Like, Marvel fanboys and DC fanboys do the same thing. But yeah, so I had big hopes. It's unfortunate that, well, it is kind of unfortunate that Warner Brothers isn't gonna continue on with the Zack Snyder cuts, or like the Zack Snyder's or DC movies directed under Zack Snyder for this SnyderVerse that he's like created. Because Justice League definitely, it talks. I'm like spacing out on the word, what, like preludes something. Hope you guys what I'm trying to get at. To like Justice League 2 and like what it could potentially become. Because there is still the entire, like, Batman has the nightmare of Superman going bad, and so it would, definitely Zack Snyder had a plan for that. And, that's not a thing that has been, like, solved. I'm a dip, so I don't get spoiled, but I'll def tape you up on the HBO offer. I need to see the hype behind the movie. Says Renzo. Yeah, for sure, man. Yeah, I'll let you, I'll hit you up, like, afterwards. But yeah, it was good to see you. Definitely do not get spoiled. And I totally, I'll totally let you know what's up afterwards. But yeah, so it is unfortunate, but I just feel like it was a swing and a miss. Was like Zach's like portraying on the movie, and then, like I said, there probably is like some complications, because I don't know, during the time when he was doing Man of Steel, which was like early 2010s, that he was gonna like include all these other like superheroes and stuff like that. And then at least in his vision, he's just like, yeah, let me just like throw these guys in, and hopefully the storytelling can kind of just like make it okay. And honestly, like, if you got Zack Snyder's true vision of Justice League instead of Joss Whedon's in the very beginning, then a whole lot of other things movie-wise would make sense. Like, I don't know, like I said, I don't know if they did like reshoots for these particular scenes, but you definitely got to see a lot more celebrity actors, or just like recognizable faces. Like, you got to see William Dafoe and shoot, who's that one guy that plays? So yeah, there's Martian Manhunter. If I have to spoil that real quick, but I mean, his actor was always in the movies. That's the thing. But because of like Joss Whedon's like turn, the Martian Manhunter never was like really introduced. And there's actually other superheroes that actually get introduced. Well, other than like Martian Manhunter that actually shows his like true form, there's like another hint at another recognizable DC character that was gonna probably be in Justice League 2. Who knows? But that's like the Atom. I think his like character, or his like character's Ryan Choi. I forget, but definitely they were. There's definitely this one character next to Cyborg's character, or Cyborg's dad's character, that was like, wait, hold on. This guy, I wouldn't say like he didn't deserve the screen time, but he definitely got a lot of screen time, and just like, wait, they got to be hinting something. But yeah, totally for sure. If you got Zack Snyder's like cut from the very get-go, it would have made Aquaman a lot more sense. Um, what was another movie that kind of like came out after like Justice League? um, yeah, because it kind of just like fleshed out those like areas more. Um, so kind of like go off real quick. I do like Zach's take on the entire DC universe, as there are just these like gods among us and they just don't want to take credit, but now they're being like pushed into like the limelight. Um but yeah, I guess like I wouldn't say his writing was like really off, or like I don't know. Like I said, it was just kind of like a swing and a miss. But I do like how he had the entire like gods among us. Um and then well, so I guess the swing and a miss, sorry. I guess it's not like his take didn't just like stick, you know? Um I think it's just like it was just too much storytelling in such a limited capacity. Um Definitely for sure like going how Marvel went about it with like individual movies that told their stories, cuz I can see, or like I said, with the movie being 4 hours, it was fleshed out really well. Everyone's like character had a beginning, or had a story to tell and had like a closing to it, and yeah, yeah, like looking at Joss Whedon's version of the movie, he really did butcher it. But I'm curious as what you can take out from Zack Snyder's cut to kind of make it more theatrical friendly, because yeah, 4 hours is quite some time. At least for me, I was able to get through it because I didn't like chug like all this water or like eat a lot um, for it, but definitely in like a theater setting, like people are gonna like, oh, I need to go to the bathroom for sure. Um, so yeah, I guess I will really get into like the spoilers of it all. So one thing that was really cut from Joss Whedon's Justice League, or the first initial dropping or airing of it, not the Zack Snyder cut, it cut out Cyborg's story. Like, if you kind of watch it, and I've rewatched Justice League. It's probably been like a month or two, I want to say, since I've seen him. But from what I can like recall, Cyborg's character was kind of just like, oh, you need me, here I am, and then I just like do all this stuff. When in Zack Snyder's like cut, like Cyborg was kind of like, his story was kind of like the bigger story out of everyone's like character story. Um, it was him and like Barry Allen, like kind of the two newer characters. Well, I guess like Aquaman, Cyborg, and the Flash got like their stories, while everyone else kind of, yeah, kind of, they were just like, I wouldn't say they're just like prop characters or side characters, but definitely for sure like a lot of their stories weren't like truly added, or like truly like open, and like, or it had something and it had a closing for sure. What's it, Cyborg's like story was kind of accepting um his dad for what he's done. Like this entire story of like Cyborg, and this was not even changed in Zach's thing. This is like his kind of like origin, is that his dad, or at least the modern like story of like Cyborg, has probably been like retold a lot, but at least the origin is that Victor Stone, or aka Cyborg, was really good at athletics. He's just like a really bright kid, good at athletics. But his dad was never there, and he always wanted his dad's approval. But then an accident happens, and then his dad has to make like I guess a rash decision, like people will say that, to save his like son, and it's you know, like a, what's it called? I guess like experimental, but um, yeah. So highly risky uh, way to save his son, and he actually does by making him into like a cyborg. And at least in the Zack Snyder film, and actually I do like this way of like, you know, cyborg becoming to be, is that these like mother boxes that kind of just like, you know, they can create and destroy things by like matter, like, you know, one for one. You know, if it can like become smoke, he can make the smoke become the solid object again. And that's kind of what the dad did for Cyborg, where after the accident that kind of like, you know, was gonna like, you know, definitely take Victor's life, the mother box created like this this body for him, or yeah, the cybernetic body for Cyborg or Victor, and that's how he became a cyborg. But after that, yeah, he's kind of like, what's it? He, you know, he kind of like doesn't approve of his dad's methods of saving his life. He thinks he's like a freak, stuff like that. So he's like fighting, he's fighting himself again, you know, becoming, you know, this, you know, becoming cyborg. You know, he at first, you know, he doesn't like, he thinks he's a monster. He's not like a human, but his like dad kind of like brings him out of like that shell where it's like, you know, you do have like a life. You're not, you know, just like some monster. You are pretty much like a miracle, pretty much, you know. So leaving that out of the movie, because I think with Joss Whedon, he really tried to focus more on like Superman, Batman, and kind of Wonder Woman. I don't know, Wonder Woman. It's interesting. A lot of the differences with the movie doesn't really have with like Wonder Woman. Like I think a lot of her stuff is still in it, but I think the Amazons are just I think like the history of the Amazons is just a little bit more fleshed out. I mean I guess the newer things of like Wonder Woman, where it was truly just like her discovering the origin. Like if you've seen the trailer spots of Zack Snyder's before, you know, of this movie before the movie came out, you see her like going through these like ruins or something and finding out this like dark history and stuff like that. So yeah, like I said, you kind of just get a story of like Aquaman, Cyborg, and the Flash, but it's more Cyborg and Flash. You, like I said, or I guess with this movie, like for those that got like their own like solo movies, like Wonder Woman, Aquaman, and oh well, I guess Ben Affleck's Batman never really got a solo movie, but they kind of try to flesh out his character with the entire Batman Superman movie. And then he kind of had some takes in like Suicide Squad, but I digress. The story is more really like Cyborg and the Flash. I mean, the Flash was kind of more like simple, as like his dad didn't want him to, you know, kind of just like run in place, as he put it, or I guess like stay in place, as he's just trying to, or you know, as his son Barry Allen, the Flash, is just super focused on trying to get his dad out of like jail, because you know he's been into prison and all that. Yeah, for like a murder he didn't like. What's it called? He did. Yeah, he was put in jail for a murder he didn't do. You're a trash at Call of Duty. I'm sorry to tell you this, but it's uncurable. Okay. I don't even play Call of Duty, but yeah, I am trash at it. So, I mean, okay. I haven't even played it, um, but yeah, I guess that's a fair assessment. But I know, I do. The first step is acceptance. Yeah. I mean, I don't even play the game. I'm more of like a fighter game or a fighter player. I'm more of like a RPG, tactical RPG, and all that. But I don't really care about Call of Duty. But yeah, so at least with like Barry Allen's character, or it's what's cool about like Barry Allen's story is that it doesn't really need too much, you know. He kind of just like, or actually, well, it's not really too cool, I guess. At least for Zack Snyder, it kind of just got solved, even though it kind of got like fleshed out more. I probably shouldn't have said it was like cool. It's not the last step of the 5-stage of grief. Probably. I don't know too much about it, but it's cool to see how they do like the Speed Force and stuff like that, which was definitely another like bad turn for like Joss Whedon and his like yeah, like his take on the movie. Definitely yeah, like I said, you know, it's weird with this movie and how like movies are being presented nowadays, cuz who knows? Well, I wouldn't say that like movies are going to become like, oh yeah, 6 hours is a norm, or even like you know, this movie being 4 hours is going to be a norm. But yeah, you needed everything. So with that being said, it is curious as to like what you can take out from like Zack Snyder's cut 6 hour movie. Yeah, man, maybe one of these days, who knows. But taking out those stories definitely like leaves Justice League pretty hollow. Because at least for the new stuff with Aquaman, you kind of just like you get the sense, you know what I'm saying, like they definitely instill kind of like his situation within the world, but it's definitely more fleshed out in Aquaman. But it's definitely like it's definitely his like take of like, yo, I have this world and I have that world. It's pretty much like the Little Mermaid, pretty much. um so as like Batman, as if you guys like in both movies, you know, you have Batman searching for all these other metahumans to create the Justice League, because he, you know, he has this like dream. My bad, y'all. He has this dream that Darkseid is gonna come through, and you know we gotta like put a stop to him. So we gotta like create a team. Initially, when he finds like Aquaman just like brushes him off. He's like, "Yo, I can do this alone, because the strongest stands alone." Um, and that's kind of like their banter. And Batman's like, you know, I was like with the strongest man. He died right next to me. And Aquaman's like, yeah, you see my point? They stand alone. But other than that, you know, he's having like this what's it inheritance problem, I guess. Because I guess there's, I don't know, like with the Atlanteans there's like a coup going on, I guess. His like brother, who's I guess like a tyrant as a king, is not like the rightful heir to the throne. Yeah, is in charge, while some other people are like, no, like, you know, Aquaman, you are the true king. You gotta take up the staff, or you gotta take up the throne, and, you know, unite, or, you know, just save our people and hopefully unite the surface dwellers and us Atlanteans. So, like I said, it's with the 4 hours, definitely Zack Snyder like fleshes out everything a lot better. Um, yeah, and actually, there's a lot of like cool things too that he took out with like Steppenwolf and Darkseid. Like, honestly, adding like Darkseid and kind of like his like you see Darkseid more, but you do see like some of his like entourage and his, like his army, um, which was neat. What's interesting though, you don't get to see too much of like Omega Beam, like Darkseid. I don't know like what the reasoning is for that, but like I don't know. I'm typically when I see like Darkseid, he's never like truly throwing punches. He's always like standing and he just has Omega Beams and he just shoots and that's it. But maybe for like this part or this iteration, he likes to like swing a mighty axe or whatever. But yeah, movie was really good. I don't know. I don't really want to like go scene by scene and stuff like that. Because Darkseid introduced already. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, so Darkseid was introduced. He actually had a lot of screen time. Like he had like a lot of fighting scenes, um, and you get to see like his big conquest of it all. So definitely for sure, like I said, there's a lot of like what lewds or not lewds, sorry. um, what is that word? Prelude? I want to say lewds for some reason. But yeah, definitely a lot of like scenes that are like setting up, you know, setting up for Justice League 2 and 3 lewds. Where OP, I know, right? Where lewds? Someone say lewds. All of a sudden, my viewer count goes up. I know, sauce links. I think I'm looking for the word preludes or something. I don't know. Yeah. But for sure, Darkseid was gonna be like the big baddie. I guess there's gonna be like a Justice League 3, and yeah, Darkseid would have been like the final bad guy as to Thanos to Avengers. But you get the story of why all this is happening, which was like a lot better told in Zack Snyder's version of the movie, of course. So like I said, with like Wonder Woman and her new scenes within the movie, and kind of like her side of it all, as in like being fleshed out. Like I said, the Amazonians were a lot more fleshed out. They were kind of like the storytellers of like what was gonna like forecome, I guess. They're like, yeah, there was this giant war, or so at least like, or yeah, there was this giant war, but that was because of Darkseid, who back in those times, like even before Atlanteans took to the seas, that long ago, and they even had like what they say like the old gods, which will probably be confusing if they actually opened up with like like Zack Snyder's universe to like Darkseid, because Darkseid is part of like the new gods, and like yeah, the old gods were like some other celestial beings outside of like is in Darkseid's realm pretty much, not like the old gods that they spoke of in this movie. But they're when they refer to old gods, they're like talking about like Zeus and all those like Greek Olympians and stuff like that. But yeah, what's it called? Yeah, so going back, sorry. They fleshed out the Amazonians a lot more. Like I said, kind of like told you the story of Darkseid, where he is this like powerful force that people have heard about back in the old times. And then when he finally came to like Earth, everybody like kind of like teamed up and created this like age of heroes back then, where there were like the guardians of the skies, they called them, as the Green Lanterns, which is pretty cool to see. Interesting enough, I don't think they had as many Green Lanterns in Zack Snyder's movie than they did in Joss Whedon's. Like, there were definitely some scenes that were added and taken out, which was like interesting. I mean, you would think like all of Joss Whedon stuff was like taken out, but it seemed like they added some other like CGI stuff. Like definitely the war in both movies are different, like totally different. You can probably see some scenes that are similar, but like definitely some outcomes are like different. And I was like, whoa. But I digress. They had like the Green Lanterns, they had the Atlanteans, Amazonians, and instead of just fighting Steppenwolf, because that's probably interesting. Yeah, maybe Joss Whedon was like, yeah, make that Steppenwolf fight a lot more epic since we're taking out all this other stuff. But yeah, instead of Steppenwolf, was actually Darkseid that came up to Earth like long ago, and then he actually got like pushed back, like he lost the fight. But you know, he kind of like swore his revenge to come back. Hey, yo, how's the stream going? Yo, what's up? Pretty good gaming. Hey, it's doing good. You know, just everything seems to be going excellent, I guess. At least, I mean, like status wise on the dashboards. But yeah, how are you guys doing? How's your stream, guy? How's your guys' stream? But I guess the stream kind of got off trail with some random dude that was like, "You're trash at Call of Duty." I'm like, okay, I don't even play Call of Duty, so yeah, I'm not good at shooters. But other than that, you know, just talking to Gilliam about this 4-hour movie, Justice League. We had to do a light, small stream. Just tired, you know. I feel it, yeah. I mean, you guys have been like going 7 days a week for like 2-3 months, so I wouldn't be surprised if you guys got at least tired for a night or something. OP needs to learn how to accept himself. I do. I'm just trash at Call of Duty. I don't even care. Just had to keep up the combo. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Got to keep up that consecutive streaming streak. But yeah. So for those that don't know, I've been waiting for this Justice League movie for like forever. When did they like talk about like release the Snyder Cut? When was that? How do you spell his name? Snyder. When was this like an actual thing? Thing. Okay, so the movie, like Joss Whedon's version, came out in 2017. So they probably were talking about it around 2018. And yeah, and they finally said in 2020. Okay. So yeah, it doesn't really say when. They're like, oh man, all these people are like saying release the Snyder Cut. Yeah, it's probably in 2018. About 20. It's been some time, but I've been waiting for this movie. And just to sum it up for those that, the Snyder Cut, I hear it got good reviews. Yes. Oh, I can't really say yes to that, but definitely for me, I would say that it got a good review for me. But honestly, like, okay, so I'll give out my rating now. So I don't have to like wait till the very end to be like, yeah, so I give it this rating or that rating. I would honestly give it, man, I'd probably give it a 9. But that's a thing. I would probably give it a 9 asterisk. But that asterisk right there. So the reason why I give it an asterisk, or a 9 asterisk, is because it has a lot of like technicalities going into this. You know what I'm saying? First of all, it's a 4-hour movie. That is, I have never heard of a 4-hour movie in a theater. So, it has that to play off of. It has also the bad publicity of Joss Whedon's like Justice League. I mean, I wouldn't say that anything that Zack Snyder, Justice League wise, like, he could have put out, would have been automatically better. But definitely for sure, I want to say people are like, okay, this was a whole lot better than, Sweden's version. Because, yeah, like I said, they fleshed out a lot of things better. And the things that Joss Whedon took out definitely were essential, in my opinion. A lot of Flash scenes were like taken out, where he was very like crucial to like moments. Cyborg was definitely like kind of like the grounding, I guess, of like, you can kind of relate to this character, or you kind of just like, oh, this is a story that we're kind of like going around for Justice League, other than like the bigger picture, like, oh, we have to take out this bad guy. Yeah, you get the, oh, I relate to him, but wait, did Chad get to see you play Call of Duty? No. I haven't played Call of Duty. It's just some random person that just came on and was like, you're trash at Call of Duty. I was like, okay. So that was pretty funny. I was just like, all right. It's like the wrong people, like, it's interesting. There is like pop culture, and sure, a lot of people do play Call of Duty, but it's just like, you ran into the person that doesn't. I play fighters. I play RPGs and tactical RPGs and platformers. Not so much platformers. Or platformer fighters. Oh, what the fuck, yeah. Totally random. Totally random as hell. But yeah. So, I give the movie a 9 asterisks. It does have these variables and technicalities going for it. I do say that this movie feels like if you bought the DVD, this was like all the deleted scenes with it. Like the movie without deleted scenes. Like, that's why it was a 4-hour movie. And kind of like I said, if you can't really tell a cohesive story in 4 hours, then I kind of don't know what, like, I don't know what to tell you, at least story-wise, like, as a writer. Because definitely for sure, if it was like a big bad guy, like, type of thing, like, it's just like, you can kind of just, I guess, yeah, if you went the Whedon route, you kind of can cut out the story, like the feels of like Barry Allen and like the cyborg character, and kind of just get the team and baddie. Yeah, I guess that's what you get. It's kind of just a Joss Whedon cut. Where they just team up and then they just like fight. But definitely for sure, if you got the Zack Snyder cut, like I said before, other than Joss Whedon's movie, the Snyderverse would kind of made more sense. Like moving into like Aquaman's movie, it would have made a little bit more sense. And yeah, just things were a little bit more fleshed out. It will feel dragged. I'm surprised you rated it a 9, being a 4-hour movie. Yeah. Well, that's why I said it's a 9 asterisks. Like, that's the only reason why it's getting it, because it could flesh it out. And it actually didn't do too bad of like a fleshing out. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, Cyborg's like thing was actually believable. I heard the movie was broken up into segments at least. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. It was kind of like a classic Snyder thing. I want to say he's done it before, like with like Watchmen, where he was like Act 1, Act 2, Act 3. Um, I guess it keeps it like, I don't know. I wouldn't say that's like a Snyder thing, but it feels like a storytelling thing where it's definitely like, oh, if you don't know what this segment's about, like this little like beginning title placard type of thing. Because yeah, like Act 2 was the Age of Heroes, and they spoke about the Age of Heroes. Like they literally had that in their like scripts and scenes. I was like, yeah, when all the old people or like all the old races got back together or like united together for the first time ever to fight Darkseid, that was like the Age of Heroes. And I was like, okay. um Definitely some Snyder things that you kind of have to like but kind of have to think away, but um they must have paced it really well for you to keep up with the movie story. Oh, that makes sense. Yeah. Um, no, definitely for sure. Like the placards will help people, but at least for me, yeah, that's a kind of intense thing. Is that I I wouldn't say that I got bored with the movie. I mean, granted, I am a DC like I wouldn't say fanboy, like diehard fanboys. I just like, oh, like I can't like Marvel or like any other superhero thing. It all has to be DC. Like, nah, like, I like DC stuff. So I wouldn't say I'm super biased towards it, but like, I didn't lose any. Like, I didn't lose. Yeah, I didn't get bored. To be honest, I kind of like was I looked at my like phone once just to be like, oh shoot, is there gonna be more? Because I know how long the movie is, and it's like it's kind of running out of time. Like, I want more, kind of. They could, but unfortunately, that's not gonna happen. At least, from what at least I think Zack Snyder said it there in a tweet. He's like, yeah, Warner Brothers not going through with any more Zack Snyder DC movies, like me. So, yeah, so the critical thing I can say about this is that even though this movie was good, it still does not save Zack Snyder's universe. Kind of like what I was mentioning before, with how movies are, with like 3 hours and 30 minutes kind of being like the pushing limit for a lot of people. Because even for like Avengers, like Endgame, people are like, wow, 3 hours and 30 minutes or something. Or I remember that movie long. I don't remember that exact time frame, but like I know it was past 3 hours and people were kind of like, whoa. So, shoot, I'm kind of like forgetting where I was getting at. Yeah, so oh yeah, like I was saying, I like his take of the DC universe where there are these gods among us, but they're not necessarily in the limelight to take the credit. They're just like, yo, I do it because I have the ability, and I just do it because I do it, or I do it because I'm a good guy. Like Aquaman, literally, like in the movie, Aquaman doesn't even like, he keeps to himself. Like Batman had to find this man in like the depths of like Iceland. Like he had to like go horseback riding to get to this guy. And he kind of just like, I like that take. I'm not gonna like continue on with like that entire Batman Aquaman thing, but I like Zack Snyder's take of these gods among us. It's just that within the format of movies, it can't be fleshed out too well with the couple, like with the one movie that he pretty much had the ability to have. But for sure, it would have helped moving on into like these solo films. Because definitely introducing Aquaman, because this is Aquaman's like first like take. Yeah, I think this is his first movie or first like appearance in like the Snyder verse. So it fleshes his character enough to lead into the first Aquaman movie. So maybe kind of needed more. Yeah, like honestly, you need these characters to have their solo movies sooner than later. But with how, I guess, traditional movie format is, like, 3 hours or less kind of being like the norm, it is definitely very difficult to, kind of have this one plot of, Dark Side and or whatever, his one of his minions comes through, but then, having to introduce like 3 characters, because pretty much Joss Whedon's like version was taking out the stories of like Aquaman, Cyborg, and the Flash. I mean, probably not so much as the Flash, but definitely a lot of his like kind of like his crucial scenes, because there are a lot of like scenes where the Flash is very like crucial for that moment, but the scenes, yeah, just were cut from Joss Whedon's movie. So yeah, it's unfortunate, that like Zack Snyder won't be able to fully, tell his story of the DC universe, or at least Justice League. But he did a good job with this movie. I think it's dope I think it's dope that this movie, I want to say, does not have so much, kind of like decisions from like the studios themselves. It just feels like it's his like his full vision of like, his movie, without having to like cater and stuff like that. So I hope moving forward with like the movies and like the movie industry that, that would be a thing where like, oh yeah, well, I mean, some people have to like earn that credit of like, okay, we can kind of like let him creatively do whatever he wants or whatever they want. And we don't have to fear repercussions, or kind of like fear that he's going a really bad route, or they're going a really bad route. So yeah, I really like the movie. Like I said, 9 asterisks because it does have these variables that do help it. But if it probably dropped, like if that was the first first take that I ever got, I honestly probably would give it an 8. There, like I said, it doesn't, at least for moving the story, it helps the universe, but I just don't like his characters in the universe. Like, I don't like how he portrays Batman. I don't like how he portrays like Wonder Woman. And granted, I know that Zack Snyder didn't necessarily write like Wonder Woman, at least for her solo movie. But yeah, I think it probably is more on that aspect, where I think the solo movie of Wonder Woman kind of went one route, but they're like basing it off of Zack Snyder's like Wonder Woman. But yeah, it's just it's just unfortunate. It's just unfortunate how like movies go and come about, or like the movie industry like works. You know what I'm saying? Like, hopefully with like Warner Brothers going forward, they kind of have like a more cohesive like universe. Because at least my gripe with like Wonder Woman, she doesn't feel like a superhero. Like, yeah, she has these action scenes and she's based off a character that's a superhero, but like if you watch Wonder Woman, like the first one, she literally says that she hates man and she's a hermit. Like, that's what, like, she says like in the beginning, like, I used to want to save the world, or like the world of man or something like that, and it's like, nah, I don't want to anymore. And it kind of like, at least with the movie, that portrays her where she doesn't like go out and save like people. And I know this is kind of like contradicting what I said earlier about there's these gods among us and they just like save you without taking credit. I mean, the only time, at least for Wonder Woman and her, like, she takes she saves the world without truly taking credit, it was only like 2 or 3 times. And it was her first movie when she did in like World War I, and supposedly she never came out and never did anything other than her second movie, which was before, like time wise, like year wise, before, you know, Justice League. She came out in, that second Wonder Woman movie, 1984. That was their second appearance. So it was just like there's a gap, and that's why I just don't like some of like how these characters got portrayed. And Batman is not as like cunning or witty or tactical as Batman should be, in my opinion. I mean, yes, I know these are different iterations of the characters, but it would have been at least nice to have Batman a little bit more smarter, because the Batman they took was supposed to be like a grizzled, like veteran Batman. Like he's been doing it for 20 years in Gotham already. And supposedly they're like, at least with like the entire Batman vs Superman, they're like portraying it as Batman comes out of retirement and like just to fight Superman or some shit like that. But I don't think that's truly the case. But he's not as tactical as I would want him to be if I digress back. With the entire like him forming the Justice League, it looks like he really just like recruited people, and then he was just like kind of like looking around like what to do. He didn't like go like, oh, I know the Flash is super fast, so I need him to do reconnaissance. So like Flash reconnaissance real quick, or Cyborg, I know you can hack into things. I need to hack into like. There are times that he kind of like did that, but it didn't seem like he was, that was like his first train of thought. It was just like, oh yeah, you can hack into it. Yo, we need you to hack in real quick. Like, I'm like, come on, make this guy a little bit more, or at least make Batman a little bit more quick on his toes, I guess. But yeah, that's just me and how I feel about these iterations, or these movie iterations of the characters. But I am excited to see what happens or what continues forward with like the entire DC universe movie wise. I want to say that I've been hearing, they're probably going to do like a Black Superman soon. I think they wanted to do like Michael B. Jordan as it. But yeah, there's been a Black Superman in the comics. It's supposed to be like a multiverse type of thing. So I'm curious as where or how this reboot is gonna like be, like, yeah, are they gonna like drop, the white Superman and stuff like that, or Clark Kent Superman? I should just say white Superman. Sorry, I shouldn't just say Black Superman either. What is his name? Like, Superman from Earth 2. I think it was Earth 2. I think it was like Jar-El. I can't type. Superman Earth 2. His name was... Wait. If there's multiverse, think we'll see Russian Superman, Dawn of the Red Sun Superman. Hey, that'd be tight. I don't know, to be honest. Hold on, sorry, my bad. I'm looking for this one Superman. His name is Val Zod. I think that's what. If I got the correct one, Val Zod. He's like the new. So like in Earth 2, the original Superman dies, and Val Zod is like the new Superman. Yes, he is black. But I would like to see the Russian Superman, but a live action. Ooh, see, that's the thing. I hate, like, with live action. There's so much like so much bullshit that can just go into like making of the movie. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would love to see it, but unless Russian, like, hate for Russian, like that sentiments or rhetoric or whatever, like goes down, we'll never see Russian Superman. At least live action. There definitely is like the animated version of the DC animated universe, and I also want to say they actually just dropped a recent like Red Dawn Superman. Red Dawn Superman. A Red Sun suit. Sorry. Yeah, actually came out in 2020. At least animated wise. Yeah, so I would love to see Russian Superman like live action. I mean, to be honest, I love animated stuff over live action because there's just like I said, there's so much BS to live action and what can go on with it. Where animated, you can kind of be more true to the comic books or at least the art and stuff like that. Because with like movies and actors and stuff like that, they have to have their face being shown. So it's always like, why is it that like Iron Man always has to take off his mask? Why is it that like Captain America never wears a mask? And then Batman always has to, that's the one thing about like Justice League and like, or at least the the Zack Snyder universe is that Batman's always like out of costume. Like I want to see Batman as Batman always. I don't want to see Bruce Wayne's face or Batman's like face without the mask. Like I don't want that. But he's an actor and he's got to have his face shown. Like I don't want that. But yeah, how's everyone doing? Hope you guys are doing well. It's been a minute since I streamed. I know I've just been a lot. It's been lazy as well. A lot of things going on too. Like, what's it? I think what day is Thursday? I think there's supposed to be like a dance session in like Berkeley, but since it was like raining and cold, I think that's been like put off. But I heard there was like one out there. Might start going to that. Kind of support the homie. There's like this DJ that I used to know back in the day. Man. Yeah. It's cool because he's always been doing his thing, like as like sessions and stuff like that. So like seeing that he's still doing it and kind of like in the area. I know for Sundays he's always in this area, but like at least for him, it sounds like he goes to like, it sounds like he sessions like every day. Like he's just going out. At least Wednesdays there's like he goes out to SF and he's like with the B-boys and he's like scratching and all that. It's pretty neat. He's trying to get me to get one of those little like turntable things. He says like a Guitar Center. But that'd be pretty sweet to learn some like little DJ things. Some turntablisms. Got my first vaccine today. Got pretty tired. Oh snap! Hey, there you go. Congrats on getting the vaccine. I'm guessing. Is it like? Well, I'm assuming since you said first vaccine, I'm guessing you got like a 2-dose vaccine. So I'm guessing you got like a Moderna or something. But yeah, that's dope. Congrats on getting the vaccine. Yeah, definitely. That is essential. I know Joe Biden was like saying like nobody, but like after May 1st should like be unvaccinated. Like he's trying to get everybody vaccinated before then. So it's dope. I'm glad people are able to get their vaccines. I'll probably get mine soon. Yeah, Moderna 2-step. That's dope. My mom's like waiting for Johnson & Johnson's like vaccine because she hates needles. So she's like, I just want one. I just want to get shot once or jabbed once or something like that. But I'm glad to hear that. Other than just being tired, I'm glad to hear nothing else happened. There are all these other like rumors and cases that come up, people getting like crazy rashes, some people dying. Um, so, you know, I'm glad that if anything, you just got tired. After I got it, I tasted it. There you go. You're like, yes, I'll get a liter of that. But it's all over over some green eggs and ham. There you go. The guy's using it in a cooking streak. That's like, he said he only smells his breath and walked away. Really? When you asked him, that was normal. Terrible. And that's terrible how he's like, I only smell my breath. And then he just walked away. That's terrible. But yeah, I'm glad that all is well with you guys. At least like vaccine wise. Yeah, I don't know. I've been like, I know I should be a little bit more, on top of this, trying to get my vaccine. Like my brother has been sending me like the entire like, oh, if you volunteer for 4 hours, you might be able to get it. Like when that like was popping up and stuff like that. But hey, what's his face? Like I said, Biden wants everyone vaccinated before May 1st, so I'll get it sooner or later. Like I'll get that PS5 sooner or later. But definitely for sure, it's gonna be great when everyone's vaccinated and microchipped. That's fine. And but yeah, we can get to like orange tier and after orange tier, and we can finally start living a life of before the before times. I don't know. Kind of has been giving out their extras, I heard. Oh, really? Like they just like at the end of the day, they're just like, oh, we just have extras here. I'll just just like hand it out and get like 20 of these shots. But interesting. I need to get them. Yeah, at the end of the day to the waiters. Really? And you can just inject it yourself? I don't know. Interesting. I'm sure it's not they actually give out the needles, but I guess like what do you mean by extras? They like for those that didn't like sign up, like they'd have an appointment, and or those that are just waiting, they go into overtime to administer. Oh, I see. Man, they should just give me. They should just be like, all right, we off the clock. Here you go. Take these needles. Take as much as you want. Apply yourself. And I'm just like, all right. But yeah, okay. So, Zack Snyder's Justice League, for those that are just gonna be like, let's see if he like sums it up at the very end of the video. It was pretty good. I give it a 9 asterisks. But that's just because it was a very long movie. It was literally over 4 hours. I don't know how much how much more shooting Zach was able to do after this entire like campaign was like released. I do feel like watching, like I feel like the only new stuff was truly at the end, but definitely like the majority, the chunk of it, it feels like it was like the deleted scenes, if anything, but everything was fleshed out really well. Give it a 9 asterisks. But it does not save his universe, unfortunately. It definitely does help it story-wise if you are trying to flesh it out more, if that makes sense. Like, even though it fleshes out the characters, it's like it's a good flesh out for like, oh, they don't truly need an origin anymore. Now you can kind of just go on with like them being them. Even though I would kind of have liked it to be like at the point they were recruited, they were kind of like them already, at least like for Barry Allen. One thing they hinted in like Joss Whedon's movie was like, oh yeah, I don't really like, I'm not really a hero. I just like push people out of the way and stuff like that. And kind of like the same narrative was in Zack Snyder's, even though they literally don't say that. But yeah, what's it? The Flash is still pretty much, you know, not a superhero. Like he just, yeah, he kind of just like, oh, save this person real quick, and kind of make it seem like, I mean, he's still like a hero. He doesn't need to be in the suit, but definitely very inexperienced. But I mean, still, it's not the worst of things. Um, and I guess, a good way to be like a hero. You don't need to be truly a hero. All right, whatever. But it's good. I recommend it definitely for those that have HBO Max, or I say HBO Max is killing it. I wouldn't say that you should just get HBO Max just for the Zack Snyder movie release. But for sure, like for other things too, like if you, yeah, it has a lot. It's pretty good. And I like how some of these other movies are coming out. Like I can't wait for the end of the end of the month. Godzilla versus King Kong. Yeah, I can't wait for that too. I was waiting for this movie. I think HBO Max killing it. I find myself rewatching dumb things. I've been kind of rewatching old South Park stuff. Oh man, I'm gonna have to do like a theeOPSON on that. Yeah, because they had their they didn't have their vaccine special. I was gonna say a pandemic special. That was the other one, but they had their vaccine special, and I kind of just have to like talk about it. Like I'm not gonna say it's like there's some genius to like Trey and Matt Parker, but definitely with their comedy, it's like it's kind of like rare and unique. Like they can make fun of things, but then like they still give people that information about it, Like, at least for the vaccine special, they talk about adrenochromes. Like, if you knew nothing of, like, politics and stuff like that, but they, like, and you just watch South Park, you learned of adrenochromes. And sure, maybe, I wouldn't say adrenochromes are fake and they're fake news. But how South Park goes about it, where QAnon is like spreading misinformation of like the elites, like child trafficking kids for their adrenochromes, like I think I like their stuff just because it's super tongue in cheek, super tongue in cheek. But okay, yeah, no shows. Also, there usually extras in the box when they're bought, like IKEA, lol. Oh, okay. Lol, of course, South Park goes there. They're geniuses, though. Yeah, I mean, at least for me, like, I don't disagree with people saying that they're geniuses. I'm almost there. I just can't say it yet, but they're damn near there. Cause, like I said, with how they, with their comedy and stuff like that, like, I mean, sure, maybe it's not on like the level of like Bill Burr, where he just like goes hard on some people. um, and maybe it's because Trey and Matt Parker or whatever, Trey and Matt, I don't know what their names are. Matt Stone, Trey Parker, yeah. They can kind of like hide behind, I wouldn't say hide, but they have the animations to kind of like ease into certain things a little easier. But like I said, if you knew nothing of politics and you just watched South Park and you heard of adrenochromes and you were just like, what the hell is adrenochromes? And you just wanted to hear anything and everything that was talked about adrenochromes, like, yeah, you would hear definitely for sure, like, there is a sector of like the internet that were like, yeah, the elites child trafficking kids just to like yeah, get them all like hyped up, get their adrenaline's pumping, and then like kill them to drink their blood for their adrenochromes to like, stay young or something like that or something. And it's just like, you had never heard of that rhetoric. So I wouldn't say that they're doing more harm than good by like poking fun at it, but it's just like, it's interesting. It's interesting. Like, or at least for me, maybe it's like they can like spark a topic and be like, oh yeah, well, we can talk about this, talk about that. But it's at least, being a fan of like South Park, you can kind of appreciate the vaccine special a little more, because like it's kind of nutty, because I did see an article too that were like, oh, this vaccine special kind of like goes back to roots, and yeah, they use a lot of the old stuff. Like they brought back like a Mr. Slave character. I was like, goodness, yo. Yeah, and then yeah, it's funny. Like I said, a lot of tongue-in-cheek stuff. There is like a family, and they are like, their last name is the Whites. And there's like, yeah, we're always backing you up. Like, and they never really say Mr. Garrison anymore. Because like Mr. Garrison was supposed to be like the Donald Trump character, or Donald Trump during the time when he was actually in office. Yeah, he was actually like the president within South Park at the time, and he was supposed to be Donald Trump. And then we whites were always with you. But yeah, okay, that's it for me, everybody. Short stream, as usual. Gotta get to bed, gotta get to work. Hopefully everyone's doing well with this hour time skip ahead of us. Who knows? But I'll try to be back tomorrow, just to talk about anything, like just talk about everything. There's a lot to talk about. We can talk about okay, yeah, I think that's it, everybody. I'll be back again tomorrow. Tune in then. Shout out to everybody that is here with me. You guys are the best. You guys are much appreciated. You guys are beautiful, beautiful people. I'm going down this list. I see Galeem. Shout out to you. I see Kafiri. What's up, man? It's good to see you. Or Kafufu. Pretty good gaming. Shout out to y'all. Hope you guys are doing great. And yeah, that's all I see. I see Bots and Lurkers as well at 10. Casino Thank, Commander Foots, or Commander Roots, Extra More, have this too, and Idiocy. But yeah, like I said, I'll be back again tomorrow. We'll be talking about anything and everything that is happening within 2021. Hopefully everyone got their stimulus. Hopefully everyone's rich. Everyone doing well. Play these credits so I can get out of here. Just funny. But yeah, shout outs to Rinsler for giving me the 4,000 cheers. Goodness, yo. And then thank you to Gleam for being my mod on the nights. I will be back again tomorrow, like I said, and I'm trying to get back into streaming. But yeah, just a lot to do with me, my 10 to 15 year plan. But until next time, everybody, deuces for the loves, una for the haters. The.O.P's my name, and if you hate the player, you should probably hate the game. Deuces.